This guy has more balls than every single one of my thousands of haters put together. They all have less balls than this guy did, because he just fucking opened up his entire self in the hope for self-improvement in a public way. Granted, I'm blocking out his name and his profile picture, but he did it in a public way to get better with women. There's quite a few things. Let's start from the top. Your age really doesn't fucking matter. Now, with my numbers, with what I have in numbers, keep in mind, and I don't think I've ever said this, the first time I had sex was at 21. I was a Jehovah's Witness. It was very, very frowned upon to have sex outside of marriage. And that is when I had sex, was when I was 21, the first time. And then from that came what is known now as Alpha Dom, what my results are. But it started at 21. I had done sexual things to a certain degree with women, but the first time I did vaginal fucking penetration, I was 21. The age doesn't fucking matter, because to most people I started late, and now I'm one of the people that have the biggest numbers on this planet. The age thing, fucking let it go. Don't let it fucking control you or freak you out or something like that. As far as the personality disorder you have, or you said you have, or you think you have, that you haven't been diagnosed with, I am not a licensed psychiatrist or a licensed fucking psychologist. What I can say is I have a very wide and aggressive knowledge on psychology and personality disorders. You have to, as a dominant, because you have to know what you're dealing with when you meet certain girls that have these certain things. The personality disorder that you're talking about creates a inability to fucking connect with people, inability to fucking have any type of real interest or anything like that. Later on in this comment you left, you state how you loved a girl so much that you were willing to give her pretty much everything and like delete your friends on Instagram that were girls. That does not show what you said you think you have. I'm just pointing them out. They don't match. I said, not fucking licensed in this, but I know the definitions of these, and I know quite a few intricacies on two of them. But now I'm going to kind of jump down in the comment, and then I'm going to go back up in a second. But then you talk about how when you have asked dating coaches for help, they've told you that you need to go to therapy, and then they'll help you. Let me give you my take on this. I do think that if you're struggling with something and you're having issues, that you should go to therapy. I do happen to have a path of what I personally believe in should happen as you kind of go through all this. One, I think because later on you talk about how you want to conquer this yourself, and you want to beat it. When I was younger, I had severe fucking anger issues, and I was very emotionally and verbally abusive. Therapists could not help me fucking out of it. They tried. I wanted to fix it, but they couldn't fucking fix it. I personally had to fix it myself, and it took years of fucking working on this shit. My viewpoint is this. What I think people should do is they should try to work on something themselves. And then after a set amount of time that you set, if it is not improved or has gotten better and you haven't figured it out, in this time you're reading books about it, you're reading fucking articles about it, you're learning about it, you're fucking finding coping mechanisms and ways to fucking deal with it, and fucking looking at your own trauma and trying to figure out what the connections are and trying to forgive certain things, doing all the stuff that you need to try to kind of self-therapy. Then when that doesn't work, I think that you should try to maybe talk to friends about it, fucking have somebody try to help you through that. If you don't have that, then move on to the next step. If you do, set a period again, see if it starts fucking helping. Then I think you should go to therapy and start working with a therapist. I also will tell you that there's one time, especially after the divorce of my ex-wife, where I was like having blackout fucking panic attacks. Therapy didn't really work there either. It helped with one or two things, but what I ended up running into was meditation, and that is what ended up fixing it. But there has been things with me that has been fixed by therapy. Now, if therapy's not working, then that's when you fucking go find somebody that can, like a psychiatrist, that can fucking give you medication and deal with it on a chemical level. I think that path is what everybody should follow. for that. Now, I know there's going to be people in the comments who are like, no, you want to fix as fast as that's fucking bullshit. I will tell you that point blank. That is the dumbest fucking shit. Because if you fix something, like go straight to fucking taking pills to fucking fix it, you are fucking completely fucking wiring your brain to be a fucking weak little piece of shit that doesn't fucking like cope with things, heal from trauma. You're fucking just immediately giving it out. And that's the human condition, is I want to fix this the quickest way. 90% of the time, when you try to fix it the quickest way, you aren't correctly fixing it. You're rolling a Band-Aid over it and then hoping to God it doesn't fucking blow up somewhere else later, okay? Improvement is slow. It's 1% every single day. Then we go to the story about this girl, about the park. That's a 4 out of 10. And you said that she already had a boyfriend and you're just like trying to get experience with being around women for, you to start growing and stuff like that, which is cool. Once again, still not seeing that personality disorder you're talking about, because what they do is they avoid fucking any attachment or like deep interpersonal connection altogether. They wouldn't do what you're talking about here, where they're trying to get close to a girl just to understand how they can get better with women. They don't do that. Sorry, they don't. Even if you have some type of mental obstacle, I don't like calling them disorders. If you have a mental obstacle, then eventually do see a therapist about it to figure out which one it is. Get a couple of fucking opinions as well. Another thing about the therapy thing, if you do go to a therapist, find one that pushes you to be better. Way too many fucking therapists, and I don't give a fuck how much haters I get for this. Too many fucking therapists should never fucking have taken that fucking job. All they do is fucking listen. If you want a fucking best friend, go fucking find one. A therapist that just listens and does not push you to become a better person, fuck them. You are in the wrong job. Go be a fucking weatherman, okay? Go do that. You are better off fucking there than you are anywhere around psychology. Because if you are not going to challenge people and push them to become a better version of themselves, you're not going to be the voice of reason and logic and pushes them. Fuck you. You are helping no one. You are a useless person in your job. Okay. Now, going back to this with the girl, that's the 4. This is one of the things that a lot of dating coaches teach. They teach you that you should just go have friends with girls and you should hang out with girls, and then you'll understand how women work. I'm telling you, that is the dumbest fucking shit on this fucking planet, okay? What they are telling you is to get to know a very different version than what you are trying to learn. The type of woman, or the part of the woman that wants to be friends with a guy, is very fucking different than the part that is attracted, and there's an electrical spark, and there's fucking tension and sexual tension and stuff like that. They are very different things. With guys, because we blur the fucking lines constantly, we can be friends with a girl and then fucking, go right into a relationship. But guess what? That most of that time we wanted to fuck her the entire time. So there's a fucking different connection there too. But with women, when they are normally with a guy, I'm going to tell you this. When they are with a guy, they are normally going to, in most cases, default to friend, okay? Whereas we default to fuck, okay? You have 2 different fucking things. You are learning a part about her, and you're learning about the friendship type brain. The friendship type of brain is very fucking different than the fucking attractive type. Reason being, as proof, I can go into a relationship, like I can meet a girl for the first time and tell her, like, hey, we're gonna be friends. And then just fucking flirt and do my normal cocky funny thing. And she's just like fucking magnetized to me more because I'm using that fucking friend side of her, but I'm not fucking engaging it the correct way. I'm not engaging her and being a friend with her with that friend side of her mind. I'm using the fucking attraction, flirtatious fucking side of her mind, which are very different things. And just between that difference, I can tell her to her face over and over every single day, we're just friends. But because I'm fucking triggering the right side of her brain, that fucking pulls her to me, okay? Don't assume that getting to know women and hanging out with women in the friend state is going to ever teach you anything about the attraction state. It's better for you to shut off dating for like a year, start learning all the stuff I fucking teach, start fucking applying it, and then start fucking building relationships than it is to sit around and listen to a girl's fucking problems all day, every day, as her fucking shoulder to cry on, or as someone to hang out, or most cases, someone to buy her fucking dinner and Starbucks and stuff like that. Okay. Do not mistaken the thing that most people and fucking dating, like these dating, that's how I know a dating coach is really bad with women, because if you have the numbers I have, you know things. You're aware. And I understand most people aren't aware that you should be aware of this if you're with multiple women, but you should be. They're very different forms. They're very different forms, types, avatars, fucking personalities, fucking sections of our fucking brain. They're all very fucking different. Stop confusing them. And dating coaches, please shut the fuck up about this, because you're wrong. Absolutely fucking horribly wrong. And if you were really good with women, you would know that the friend part of a fucking female's brain and the attraction part of a female's brain are as far apart as they possibly can be. Okay? Cool. Now let's talk about this. You have this girl that is treating you poorly, being mean, as you said, and saying some fucking stupid shit. I'm going to teach you something. Women are always looking for the high value male, and they do certain things called shit tests. And what a shit test is they'll say something like, is it really hard to get a girlfriend? Now, the wrong answer to that is 1, getting upset and defensive about it or lashing out. 2, just fucking disconnecting. That was a shit test. Now, the more high value you are, the more a woman knows that you're high value, the less she fucking shit tests. Because one of my girls, if they said something even remotely that disrespectful, knows there'd be consequences to it. Whether that's them on their knees for 20 minutes with their arms behind their back on fucking rice, or as me saying, oh, you don't get to talk anymore today. Or if it's something severe enough, I just fucking straight out dump them. But in most cases, it's not the straight out dump. It's not me fucking just disconnecting. It's me fucking pushing them back or poking them back and saying something cocky funny like, well, I thought you were a dude. It's really hard with me, because if a girl would say that, it would be like breaking all the fucking like logic, because they, serve me as my submissive with my other girls. But an example I can give you is I had a girl that was over my house once, and she said, hey, I'm bored. I don't think I want to be here anymore. To which I looked up from my phone, because I was working on my phone, to which I looked up straight. I didn't give her eye contact. I'm like, okay. I'm like, then you should go home, because you really haven't been putting too much effort into the relationship anyways anymore. And I said it just like that. And she got up, she left, she drove 2 hours back to her house, and I get a phone call. I pick up the phone call and I go, hello? And she goes, so I'm back home and I was thinking that you're right, I haven't been putting effort into the relationship. Can I come back? And I'm like, yeah, if you beg. And she's like, what? And I'm like, if you beg. Beg to come back. Beg to come back, Brianna. And she said, she laughed, and then I'm like, that's the only way you're coming. I'm like, I'm serious. And then she did like 2 or 3 fucking weak attempts, and I'm like, you got one more shot. And she did it, and she came back. Now the important part, because guys are going to focus on that, that's where they're going to put all their goddamn focus. The important part is what happens later that night. We're sitting there, we're watching a movie. She is now completely back into her, she's cuddling with me. We're watching the movie. She's like touching my fucking beard. She's fucking, playing with my hair. She's showing attraction signals again. And she says, I have done something like that to most men. And either they get upset and defensive and flip out and just fucking be like, get the fuck out, whatever. Or they cling and try to hold me there. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll do better, things like that. And she said, you didn't do that. And I remember looking down at her, and like I told you, I'm not like other dudes. That's all I had to say. And I could literally feel her cunt pulse on my leg. Okay? Shit test. And I've said this before, and I've never been able to say this story on TikTok because TikTok would get upset about what I just fucking said. Shit tests are one of your biggest allies, because if you know how to handle them correctly, they build so much fucking attraction that they fix almost everything. She went from, being disconnected, not wanting to fucking be at my house, fucking shit like that, then driving 2 fucking hours, like playing the part. She was trying to call the bluff. Waiting for me to call her and be like, oh, I'm sorry, come back, whatever. I didn't do that. And she came back. And then not only did she come back, her entire behavior and attraction stance fucking changed. Okay? She was being, in your case, she was being rude. And you didn't really say how you handle it. I think you said afterwards you just kind of disconnected from her, which is fine. But anytime a girl does a shit test for me, it's either I kind of gauge it. Most things are going to fall into the category where I'm going to deal with it that way, where I'm being kind of cocky and I'm being kind of funny. Subtle hint of fucking funny. Like, yeah, go home. If it's very, very severe disrespect, then my girls get punished. But that's because I'm a dom and I have a dom dynamic. I've had girls, when I've done approach, say like, why the fuck would I go out with you? You don't look good. To which I said, see, this is why I'm glad I came over. You're just a pretty face. I thought you had, a personality on you. I'm glad I came over. And then I walk away. Things like that. Women aren't used to that. Women are used to the second they give a man a shit test, the guy crumbles. But the reason the shit test exists is because, and only because, there is at least a little bit of attraction. She's just trying to decide whether she just should move on or if she should stay. That's the only time that happens. A woman that's no longer interested or no longer attracted to you will not shit test you like that. Now, granted, she could have been frustrated and tired of fucking like babysitting and hanging out around you. But also, we'll get into this part. This is going to be a fucking long video. We're also getting to this part where if you're not advancing and pushing forward, she's not going to fucking do it. I just made a video a couple minutes before yours about how women need men to be the selector. They need men to, move forward to advance things. That's how it works. Okay. Women are very rarely ever going to fucking advance things themselves. Okay. It's something that it's so much so that I have to train it into my girls for them to start doing like escalations and fucking like advancing and like coming on to me in the relationship. Women are very comfortable just waiting by themselves for you to fucking engage everything. Okay. Obviously use consent there, but engagement, advancement, pushing forward is always going to be on the male for the most part. Okay. Now let's go into the ghosting or like, don't message me again. Viewing your fucking message and not responding. 98 or 99% of the time. I don't know the actual number on this, but I know from my experience what this is. And it's almost all the time. When this happens, where a girl fucking reads a message and ignores it, where she's, saying things like, don't message me again. The failure of building attraction is on the guy. The guy has done something where he's either completely destroyed attraction, trust, and respect of the girl towards him, or he never fucking pushed the envelope forward at all. He just kept it at this fucking, because women won't. They're not going to, here's the thing. With men, do you ever hear the saying, fucking women age like milk and men age like wine? Okay. Internally with her reproductive system, which is part of the thing that wires both the male and the female, with her reproductive system, that has a timer on it. Okay. A woman is not going to sit around with a guy that's just not fucking doing anything. That's not fucking pushing the envelope forward, not fucking moving it to the next level. They're not, because there is an internal clock that runs in the back of her subconscious saying, I am fertile for this period of time. So if you aren't pushing forward, if you aren't moving it, if you aren't like holding her hand, if you aren't fucking kissing her, if you aren't fucking asking for fucking sex, if you aren't fucking, escalating sexually and building tension and shit like that, it's going to fizzle out. And then what happens is, because this is something that a lot of guys and dating coaches don't get. If a girl is interested in you, there's a reason I'm so good with women. It's because I explore their fantasies with dominance and submission and shit. Okay. The thing that will kill attraction in a woman more than anything, and no one ever talks about this, is their fantasies never becoming realized. Their fucking like expectations being just fucking this sad, pathetic fucking like fizzle out. If she's attracted to you and she's hanging out with you and you're, fucking, because there's a period, right? Before you tell her like, hey, I just want to be friends, with your fucking body language and your behavior and the fact you're not pushing it forward, there's a part at the beginning where she's attracted to you and she wants things to move forward. She wants you to move things forward. Okay. If that period extends, all that excitement that she wanted to have realized between you and her becomes an expectation not met, and it fizzles out, and she gets bored, and she feels like she wasted her time. And if she's like the upset, angry, kind of loose type, she'll fucking flip the fuck out on you and tell you not to fucking talk to her anymore. If she's the fucking calm type, she's just exhausted with putting up with your personality and the fact that you didn't fucking advance and you weren't man enough to advance. And I'm not doing and none of this is a slight to you. I'm just telling you the real blunt truth to help you. If I didn't care about you, I wouldn't be making what I assume is now, because I'm doing this in parts. It's like a 15-minute video. But if you take that expectations, because what I do is I take that expectation between a girl and me, and what I'll do is I'll crush it and I'll make it so it's so fucking intense. And then when it shoots out, I will over exceed it. Because a girl will be like, oh, I have this fantasy, I get tied up and I'm blindfolded and I'm tied spread eagle and like all this stuff. And then I take that fantasy and that attraction and I compress it until she wants it so bad. And then I do something that steps over it. That's even better than what she could fucking fathom. And then bam, it explodes and she's fucking addicted and she's fucking loving me and she's telling all her friends about what I can do. And she's just fucking like, boom, it's everywhere. She just fucking, I had a girl that went into a therapy session and her therapist, because she sent me a fucking Snapchat after this, her therapist said, holy fuck, what happened to you? I have never seen you this happy in your life. Alpha Dom happened, okay? Because I take that expectation and I compress it and I make it so intense, so they want it so much. And I'm just like, let me show you something better than that. Now, most men lose with women because they sit there and they take that fucking thing and they just keep extending it. I don't know if I should I don't know if I should hold her hand. I don't know if I should kiss her. And she's already like wishing you had her like fucking pulling her hair while you fuck her from behind, okay? But you're letting this giant gap happen. So anyways, that's what I think a lot of it is going to help you. You need to start initiating. You need to start pushing forward. Here's the thing. Very simple. If you meet a girl and you're hanging out with her, go do something like grab her hand to hold it. If she doesn't want you to hold her hand, she's going to tell you. And she's going to say, hey, I don't give you consent to hold my hand. Then you fucking just let it go. Okay? Don't fit. Don't get angry. Just fucking, but most times she's going to be fine with that. Or lean in for a kiss. This fucking shit where you ask fucking like, I'm sorry. I know the whole Me Too thing is fucking like big and like blah, blah, fucking blah. I have never fucking in my life asked a girl if I could fucking kiss her. And I've been with over 1,000 women. That should tell you enough. Now, granted, I've had girls fucking lean back or say no. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm not like grabbing her face and be like, no, you're kissing me. Okay? I don't. In fact, I've had a lot of fucking shit, like a lot of fucking relationships where I don't really kiss much at all. Because kissing does fucking zero shit for me. I just don't fucking feel anything. It just, compared to what I'm used to with building attraction and sexual tension in women, I'm sorry, kissing is like, and I don't struggle with women because I don't fucking like kissing all that much. But you need to escalate. I'm going to tell you something that's fucking crazy to most people. And a lot of people are just not going to believe it. But I'm going to tell you that for the last 400 dates, this is how my first date goes. Number one, after talking to her for a bit in fucking Tinder, or approaching her and talking to her for a bit on like text message afterwards, I will invite her to my house, where I will state what will happen on the first date. What will happen on the first date is she will enter my house. She will turn around and face the wall and spread eagle while I take her purse and jacket if it's winter months, and I will put them aside. And then I will pat her down like I'm a TSA agent, and I'm very thorough, more probably thorough than a TSA agent, if you know what I mean. I like to make sure the cracks don't have anything. And then I handcuff her, blindfold her, and collar her. Then I bring her to my living room, where we will talk for a bit. And then when she's ready, she can say escalate. And then the hottest fuck shit starts, okay? Now keep in mind, I made a video a little while back saying to invite girls over to your house to make her dinner. And a lot of people flipped out and said girls will not come to your house for the first date for you to make them dinner. I just told you what my first date is. 400 fucking women have done it. Granted, I know how to build fucking trust, and I know how to fucking, like, I have a whole fucking system so I can get to that point. But I gotta tell you, in a world where most guys can't build tension and escalation and have a girl want to even like do something, or they fucking drag it out for too long, most of the women that I've had over my house to do this have said before they even walked in my door were soaking wet, because just the anticipation of knowing what's going to happen, just that little part, and then the anticipation of not knowing what happens after was enough to make them fucking puddles. And guess what? Since I pat them down, I knew this already. Now, I am not telling you to do it the way I do it. I am very, very specific on how I do this. And I'm also a fucking very trained, very decorated fucking BDSM dom. Okay. But being scared to hold her hand or kissing her or fucking like asking for sex or fucking, as men, we got to stop this. Because I got to tell you, most women aren't like, hey, fucking, ask me before you kiss me. Like, what? Like, granted, you don't do it so fucking fast, she doesn't have time to fucking decline you, but you don't fucking ask it first. I'm sorry, you just don't. Oh, can I kiss you? If a girl fucking flips out, if I've had it happen twice in my entire life where a girl was like, oh, you have to ask me before you kiss me. I'm like, okay, you're one of those. Yeah, no, okay, bye. That's a hard line. Like, I understand. I said this to both of them. Like, I understand your way of doing things, and I appreciate you explaining it to me. However, I will not be asking you every single time for a kiss. I think we probably should see other fucking people. Now, the reason that is because I'm not going to fucking tiptoe and fucking freak out. There's some trauma going on. There's some trauma that she's probably hasn't fucking dealt with, that she wants a guy to fucking ask her to kiss her every time, or even the first time. Like I said, you don't do it fucking fast. You don't just grab her face and fucking kiss her. You give her a place to fucking lean away or stuff like that. But any girl that's fucking mentally stable is not going to want you to ask her if you can kiss her or ask her to hold her hand. Sorry, it's not. Women do not fucking like scripted, fucking planned out bullshit. Like, there's a reason I tell them a little part of what I'm going to do when they come over my house, but I don't tell them the entire fucking thing, because nothing kills their attraction more than the fantasy that they have being fucking let wide open to the point where it's fucking dull as shit. Women read books like 50 Shades of Grey or Twilight or fucking, what are the other ones? So many, where there's a man taking a woman out into a different reality, and think about every goddamn movie and book with that they love, where the woman is swept away in the moment by a man, and they fucking like, they run into each other, and they fucking like, they make this whole life, and it's fucking wild, and they don't like the fucking scripted shit. Stop listening to the very loud fucking minority that want to scream and cry because they got fucking twiddled by somebody and they have not fucking went and dealt with it. Okay? Stop listening to these people. These people, they're the minority. They're very hard to run into. Over 1,000 women I've been with, and I've run in, what, 2? 2 out of fucking 1,000 of them. And we're like, oh, you need to ask it before you kiss me. Okay, you need to go ask them. Ask someone else. I'm sorry. Consent is a thing. There needs to be conversation and talking about it, like I did with the example of what I text when girls come over. There is consent there. But if you want consent by asking every single action, congratulations, her pussy is going to be dry as a fucking bone, and you're not going to have attraction. You are going to walk through parks your entire fucking life. And once again, this isn't a dig at you, because I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the fucking bullshit that people tell their people that fucking jam guys into this fucking shit. If you do that, if you ask, or if you're too scared to fucking advance in a way, because you can do it in a consensual way, I've already explained it. If you're too scared of that, or you believe the fucking notion you have to ask for every little fucking thing, congratulations, you will be walking in parks with women as friends for the rest of your entire life. Sorry, that's how it is. You're welcome.